It doesn't matter to me if I sound like a broken record. I want this saying to be ingrained in the mental diet of every American and everybody around the world because it's just a truism. Politics is the clever art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. It takes the edge off of the true meaning of what these words actually represent. It's not mass murder, it's called war. It's not universal extortion, it's called taxation. Those aren't a bunch of dead bodies of innocent people on the field, that's collateral damage. We have euphemisms for everything because it takes the edge off of the truth. Because when you look at it through the eyes of liberty, when you look at the political landscape through the eyes of liberty, I know there are nuances, guys. I know there are nuances. But if you break everything down to its basic building blocks, the essentials, you have one person and you have another person. And there's how many people on this planet? They tell us 7 billion. I don't know how they come up with that number or if you even guess in the general area of it, but let's just say you have one person and another person. This person does not have a higher claim over the life and property of this person. If he does, where did it come from? How is it legitimate? Is he a god? Does he come from another planet where he has a higher authority, a higher claim over the authority of this guy? He has no right to initiate unjust force, unwelcome force on this guy, no matter what. Well, what if he wants to feed his kids? You know, people are talking about, nuances in politics, and well, it's not a black and white issue in regard to the initiation of force and the initiation of unjust force on people who haven't done anything wrong. It's not. Let's say this guy is little Jimmy. Little Jimmy has a serious medical problem where he needs surgery. If he doesn't get surgery, he's going to die. So Joe here, the father of Jimmy, doesn't have the money to pay for Jimmy's surgery, his life-saving surgery. So he decided to go through Fred's window at night and help himself to go through Fred's vault and steal as much money as he can so that he can save the life of little Jimmy. There's some nuance for you. Yeah, he saved Jimmy's life by using Fred's money, but he did it by the avenue of immorality. That's the bottom line. And so if we're going to sanction immorality for that, then people are absolutely willing to sanction immorality for other things like our foreign policy. Well, we have to give the government money so that we can give it to the military-industrial complex so that we can beef up our national defense so we can protect our democracy. There's always going to be a justification. There's always going to... Well, Fred, I needed that money because I must help Jimmy or he's going to die. This is a necessity. And what did the founding fathers tell us? Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. Of course they're going to say it's necessary. Of course politicians are going to get behind the podium and say, I come to bring you hope. We're going to change the world. It's hope and change. It's always just pre-packaged and repackaged, and there's a different kind of slogan, but always it comes down to, I, the politician, promise you, the voter, the supporter, hope and change. They can't give you hope and change unless you think hope can come from the immorality of mass extortion, endless wars, fiat currency Ponzi schemes that can crash at any moment and leave people with just notes of debt. They want to be the ruler of a criminal cartel known as the United States. Title 28, Section 3002, 15A, the United States means a federal corporation. Every one of those 535 people in Congress are employees of the corporate bureaucracy, period. When you see Congress, when you see Washington, D.C., that's a corporation. And they want to run your life and control you through laws. Laws are their opinions, the opinions of those corporate employees backed by the threat of force. And what I mean by backed by the threat of force is if you don't comply with the corporate employees, the congressmen, the senators' laws, men with guns will come to your house and make you comply or throw you into a cage or just kill you. Because what the state cannot tolerate is even one person going against their will, because that's going to set a precedent for the other sheep grazing in the field. And there will be an uprising. They can't have an uprising. They can't have people questioning the left versus right paradigm. They can't have people questioning their euphemisms, lies, their emotionalism, and their fear-mongering. They can't have people questioning their politics. And this should infuriate every single one of us, because let's face it, we are only as free as our neighbors. If they're mentally enslaved and they buy into this statist idea that it's okay to initiate unjust force, it's okay for a third party to come in and steal from my neighbor or threaten my neighbor or throw my neighbor into a cage, not because they've done anything wrong, but because they went against the will of the politicians, those corporate employees. If we're willing to say that that's okay, what does that say about us? What does that say about our character? Our characters are on the line. All you got in this world is your name. Even after you're dead, they put your name on this rock called a tombstone, and people remember you for what you were or what you weren't, what you did or didn't do. Have you ever wondered why almost everybody is eulogized into heaven? Hell, they probably eulogize Hitler into heaven. I don't know. Live your life in such a way where when they remember you, they don't remember you as the statist who thought they had a higher claim, that you had a higher claim over the life and property of others, that you felt like you had the moral right to rule others or have somebody else rule others, and that those others had the moral obligation to obey those rulers or be punished because they committed a sin against the church called the state and transgressed against the God called government. When they see your tombstone, make sure that when they look at your name, they look at a person who was willing to get along with everybody, not initiate unjust force on innocent people who haven't done anything wrong, but was an upright person with sound moral principles. There is not one politician. Can you think of one politician who had such a principled stand that he wasn't going to stand for the Federal Reserve banking cartel known as it's known as the Federal Reserve? That he wasn't going to stand for the IRS continuing to plunder people and throw them in jail if they evaded taxes. Oh no, what a criminal. You want to keep 100% of everything you earned? Shame on you. You should be paying your fair share. I don't care what the good sounding argument is. I don't care what the necessity is. If you feel like it's okay to beat somebody over the head to provide others with universal health care or free college tuition or food stamps or whatever, then you're saying it's okay to commit immorality against people who do not consent. And I can't think of a more corrupt, evil in our society than that. Can you? That's pretty much the basis of evil. Doing to others what they don't want done to themselves. Anyway, if you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know. And because of all this censorship going on, go to my website, highimpactflix.com, and subscribe to my private email list. And anytime I upload a video, I'll be giving you guys alerts through that. You guys make it a great day, not only for yourselves, but also for everybody in your zone of influence.